Good morning and welcome. Again, my name is Julie Langoff. I'm Manager of Personnel at Women's Life Insurance Society. Thank you all again for attending the 5th Annual School to Work Recognition Breakfast. The School to Work Transition Program continues to provide students with career skills and experience. By asking the community to commit to career training opportunities, School to Work opens the channels of communication between students and business. It helps tomorrow's workforce see how today's classroom lessons apply to career goals. Thank you for your continued support in building a partnership linking the worlds of business and education. At our tables, we all have copies of the minutes from September 21st, 1999. If you'd like to take a look at those right now just for a moment. Very good. We have a motion to approve the minutes. Do I hear a second? We have a second to approve the minutes from September 21, 1999. Could I have a show of hands for approval, please? Okay, minutes from September 21, 1999 are approved. Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jim Sharon, President of the Port Huron Area School District Board of Education.
Good morning and welcome to all of you that are made the effort to be here this morning. It's interesting, I can speak to you this morning from really three avenues of significance regarding the School to Work Transition Program. My son is now a junior at Port Huron Northern High School, but last year he was a sophomore and he participated in the School to Work program. He spent a morning at the prosecutor's office with some intent and interest in possibly being an attorney someday. So it's interesting, I can speak before you as a supporter of this program as the Board of Education president, but also as a parent and also as a community member and businessman that I work for First of Michigan, a stock brokerage firm here in Port Huron. We're one of the many individuals, I think there's over 160 or so businesses within our community that are involved in this program. And so I can really see it from all three avenues, and I certainly support this program. As I was thinking about some thoughts to give you today of interest and support of this program, I remember a story that I had read a number of years ago when I was thinking about talking to an elementary school program about some of their work that they have done with the students. It was a story about a first grade teacher who was giving the students a project during the Thanksgiving time period, just a few days before the break of Thanksgiving. And the teacher had asked all the students to take a piece of paper out, sit at their desk and draw some things on this piece of paper that were of significance regarding what was important to them in life and most importantly what were they thankful for. And obviously with first graders, some have some real talent of drawing already and some don't have that much talent. And so she gave them the hour to draw on this piece of paper, and at the end of the hour she asked them to turn the papers in. And as she sat at her desk going through these different pictures, there were some talented drawings of people, some of the kids drawing a plate of food and a turkey and mashed potatoes and stuff, and others drawing pictures, stick figures of their family. And those were the most significant things. But there was one little boy in first grade, his name was Douglas, and on his piece of paper was nothing more than an imprint of a hand as it was traced. And as most of you know, when I was back in first grade or in the elementary school, that's how I used to draw a turkey. You put your hand on there. I see Sue said, I do the same thing. That's probably how I would still do it today. And she thought, well, maybe he ran out of time, didn't have an idea, and all of a sudden, well, I'm going to draw a turkey and I'm going to trace my hand. And, they would color it in and put feathers and stuff. Well, this young boy, obviously, she thought that he just ran out of time and didn't do anything else. So she decided to share some of these pictures with the students in first grade. And when she got to Douglas's picture, they were all amazed. They thought, well, this kid really has something exciting to say. Either that or there was probably some snickering in the background about Douglas is slow and he never got around to doing anything and he didn't know what the colors to color the feathers in. And but Douglas wouldn't respond. He said, well, you have to figure it out for yourself. So some of the kids said, well, it was a turkey they was starting to draw. And others said, well, no, Douglas is a little deeper than that. this is a hand, and what he was trying to do was draw the hand of God, because God was the one that provided the sun and the light and the soil and the water and what have you to grow the food. And someone else said, no, this is the hand of a farmer, because he's the one that's actually in there digging every day. Well, Douglas, as I said, didn't want to respond in public, so the teacher released the students to go out to recess, called Douglas up to the front of the classroom and said, Douglas, we're all amazed. We're just trying to figure out what you were trying to draw here as far as what you were thankful for. And Douglas paused for a minute and he said, that's your hand. And he said, because you are the one that I remember taking my hand and helping me through different things in school. And when I thought about that particular story, I think about this particular school-to-work transition program. We are the hands, the students, the parents, the teachers, and the work individuals, the owners of businesses. We are the hand that takes the student from the classroom that have spent many hours working and reading through books, and we're the hand of transition from school to work, and it's so significant. So when you think about the time and effort that you put into this program and wondering whether or not you're making a difference, I can tell you as a parent you certainly are, and as a board member I support this program and I thank you today, remembering the Douglases in the world that you truly do and provide that handful of work and transition into the workplace. So it is an important program and we certainly support it from a board level. Thank you again for being here.
Hi, I'm Mike Benedict, and it's my privilege to be the Executive Director of the Greater Port Huron Area Chamber of Commerce. And as those of you who were with us last year know, we have been part of the School to Work transition program from its inception and quite a few years before that in whatever nomenclature it may have acquired during those years. I want to thank Julie for contributing her time leading the work end of this School to Work transition program, and certainly Jim heading up the representation from the school. We appreciate all the work that both of you have done to bring these two entities together. One of the things we've enjoyed greatly in the last few years is the working relationship between the Port Huron Area School District and the business community. And as an organization, we're delighted to be a part of that and hope that we can continue to be a contributor in the many years to come, no matter what we may call the gathering together of these two necessary forces. But again, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. Don't you just love these organizations that have once-a-year meetings?
Good morning. I'm Charlie Picklehop, and I'm a senior at Port Huron High School. Last year, I began to really think about careers and colleges. Nursing was one of those careers I'd always thought about, but didn't know much about. So I went to my Career Resource Center to see what I could find out. Mrs. Smith was great. Immediately, she assured me that I'd be able to job shadow a registered nurse. We began to do the paperwork, and within the week, I had an appointment with Mrs. Setter. I met Mrs. Setter at Mercy Hospital, and she walked me through all the different units that nurses work in. I actually put on scrubs and was shown a surgical room. After I left, I knew that was what I wanted to do. Even after my job shadowing day, Mrs. Setter has helped me. She helped me secure a volunteer position at Mercy Hospital. Job shadowing has really helped me in college selections because I'm more guided. Even for people who it has eliminated careers for have appreciated it because it has saved them time and energy on a career that wasn't right for them. Without my job shadowing experience, I would probably still be an undecided teenager. Now I know what I want and how to get it. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michelle McFedrin, and I just want to thank everyone here today for giving myself and my friends the opportunity to job shadow you and to learn your jobs and decide whether it's something that we would like to do or not like to do in the future. As a sophomore, I job shadowed the Human Resource Department at EB-EDI, and at first I thought, wow, I really want to work with people, this sounds like a lot of fun, and then I listened to what everyone had to say, and I'm like, well, maybe I don't know if I want to deal with everyone complaining every day, and maybe that's not something I would like to get into. And as a junior, I job shadowed the buyers for Mary Maxim because I know that I would like to travel and go across country and stuff like that. And they took me to a show in Northville, and it was a lot of fun. I don't think I would like to be a buyer for Crafts or anything like that, but I think it would be a good career for me. It also helped me, I think I want to go to either Western or Michigan State University and get my degree in business, and it just gives you a lot of direction, and I just appreciate so much you guys putting forth your time and effort into helping us out. And my parents also said that they wish that they would have had the opportunity when they were younger, because a lot of people go away to college not knowing what they're going to do, and they end up changing majors and things like that and wasting a lot of their parents' money. So they're very thankful to you guys also. I just think this is a very great program, and the more it expands, the better it's going to be for us in the future, and thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Selene Irvin. I'm a senior currently at Port Huron High. Last year, my junior year, is my first year from New York, and I job shadowed Malcolm X for the law firm. I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect, but I was glad I did it because since I was little, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I think it's a good program because it helps students decide their decisions of what they want to do in their careers as they get older. And it also helps and gives kids more confidence to show that the faculty and the staff, as well as parents, are willing to help students pursuing their careers. It was really fun because I got to sit in the law firm and the office and go to court and watch a couple cases. It's kind of different from New York. I guess it's smaller, but it's still pretty much active. That's about it.
Hi, my name is Kaylin Delke, and I'm a senior at Northern High School. When I was first called down by my counselor to discuss job shadowing, I was not very thrilled. I thought, I have no idea what I want to do, so who am I possibly going to job shadow? My counselor continued to tell me there would be a great opportunity, so please consider it. I ended up doing it. My first job shadowing experience was with the EB-EDI resource director. When I first walked in there, I thought to myself, what am I doing? I'm going to meet a group of people, might get a tour. What good is that going to do for my future? I did meet a lot of great people, and I did get the tour. Not only did I do that, but I left there with a lot of information, not only on the human resource director, but as much as the other staff. My next job shadowing experience was with Mr. Steve Miller, who is a probation officer in the St. Clair County. This job shadow also started out with the tour of the juvenile center. As we were walking through, he explained to me what his duties were as a probation officer. After listening and watching him, it seemed as though his role to his clients was as though he was a parent. We walked through visiting the court. We went to the county building, We walked through visiting most of the courtrooms, attorneys' offices, and I even met a few judges. Once again, I felt as though I was job shadowing more than one person. With all the information that he was giving me, that's why I felt that way. Last, we went to his office. This was because he usually isn't in there doing desk work, which really caught my eye. He could pop up in any city or any school where his clients attend for a surprise visit. That's what makes his job so unique. Both my job experiences have helped me with my career choice. Not that I have chosen one yet, but when I do, I will definitely look back and think of everything that I have learned. In fact, I'm already utilizing some of the professional characteristics I observed while shadowing. I would just like to thank all of you who have welcomed students for the shadowing experience. I appreciate it, and I know that they do as well. For those of you who have not yet had the chance to experience that, to be more than willing to open your doors for those students who would like to. Thank you.
Excuse me. My name is Craig Dalkey, and I'm here to speak as a parent. And I guess there's two things I'd like to say. First, that's the most I've seen my daughter talk without a phone next to her face. Thank you, dear. I thought it was wonderful. And secondly, I experienced this as a parent with not only my daughter, but my son. And I think that it's an experience that not only was good for them, but myself as a parent, to sit down with our counselors and talk about the avenues that they can travel visiting different businesses. And again, I would like to thank all of you, as the students have, for having your doors open for them. I think that as an assistant principal in the attendance office at Northern, and students come in to arrange to be absent, sometimes to do this, I also hear them come back stating wonderful things about the experiences they've had. So I'm speaking a little more than just as a parent of my children, but as an administrator that hears other students talk about it too. So it is a widespread positive experience for many of our students, and I think that we do this in their sophomore year, and I think we've had some seniors coming back saying, you know, I think I'd like to go see this person or that business. And so I know that it's a great thing, and I guess the only thing I would say to you as a parent is thank you, and please keep those doors open. And if there's any way of expanding this to internships and summer jobs and that type of thing, I think that's something we all need to look at, and many of you are already doing that, and I think that's great. So thank you again, and it's been great for all of our students at both high schools. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mike Allen. I'm from Port Huron High School. I'm a teacher over at Port Huron High School. I teach chemistry. I got the opportunity last year, towards the end of the school year, to tour Atchison Colloids here in Port Huron. And I was very impressed with the tour. Going through Atchison Colloids, I didn't realize how many things that we come in contact every day are made or originated from here in Port Huron, invented or come about with the help of Atchison Colloids. Part of my tour there was to see some of the things that they were doing and bring it back to the classroom, which this helped out a lot. To be able to see the number of things that they did and how it was related to chemistry, and bring it back and be able to relay this stuff to my students. A lot of times there's certain things in chemistry when we're going over, students always raising their hands and asking, what does this have to do with me? How am I ever going to use this? And to be honest, some of it I have a real hard time coming up with a good explanation. Certain things, well, I try to say, well, if you go into this career, you may use it. And then you always get the response, well, that's not something I want to do. Well, everything that we do in everyday life has to do with chemistry somehow. This tour at Atchison Colloids helped me to realize this a lot. The number of products that they had there, it overwhelmed me. The number of things that they produced, and the number of things that we come in contact with every day that has to do with something that they came up with or evolved there. There are a lot of different ways of relaying, work experience to school experience, to what they're learning in school right now. It's a good way to help students learn things. Students learn by association. If you can associate a story, to what they're learning, or associate something in real life, like a job, to what they're learning at the time, they'll help them to learn it better. Atchison Colloids, the tour of Atchison Colloids, helped me do this, and I use many of the things I saw there as examples and certain things I'm teaching. Not just Atchison Colloids in chemistry, but there are a lot of other fields that can be used in teaching chemistry or whatever, any number of classes. A little story about myself. After my first year of teaching, the summer I needed a summer job to supplement my income, and I looked around. wanted a job that, paid decent, and I didn't have to do a whole lot of work, obviously. But I live up in the Lexington area, and I was looked and looked and looked, and didn't find a job that I really wanted. And in Croswell, there used to be the pickle factory in Croswell, and I knew if I applied to the pickle factory in Croswell that they would hire me for the summer. But I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be sticking pickles in a jar every day. Well, I ended up going there and applying, and lo and behold, they needed a person to work in the chemistry lab in the pickle factory. And that was a good experience for me because I was able to bring a lot of that back and use that in my teaching. Chemistry in a pickle factory. You would never thought about it. Chemistry is used in a lot of different industries, a lot of different careers, and along with many other things we teach can be expressed with other industries and careers. And so hopefully we can get more teachers to go out and be able to tour some of these industries or tour some of these businesses or jobs, be able to bring this back and relay it to their students somehow so that they know how this relates to real life. So thank you, and thanks for your time.
Good morning. I'm Leroy Stevens, Stevens Architects. We're licensed architects and have an office here in town, and we practice architecture pretty much in the Midwest, Ohio, Illinois, New York, Michigan. Students coming to our office are just a joy. We just love to have the students come. They seem to energize our office. We first give them a tour of the office, let our staff talk to the students and show them what they're doing and what their work is and how education has affected them. Then, and that just seems to be so great because the students really get my staff excited, which I like, and it gets them going. So that's a big plus for us. All of us have a little teacher in us, so we always like to be able to talk to students and show them what's going on and how architecture can be part of their career and the educational effects of architecture. Architecture does take a particular program at universities that you need to go through to become a licensed architect, and it's kind of a long program. So we usually explain that to the students that it's something that's going to take them some time. We enjoy sitting down and talking to the students, and I enjoy that particularly because I like to see what the students' backgrounds are and where they're thinking and what do they think architecture is, because architecture is broad. It deals with the environment, it deals with building, construction, interiors, furniture. There's just a lot of areas of architecture which most students don't understand in the beginning, but it's fun to go through that with them. Each group of students that I have, I like to take them onto a job site because then they can see the construction, which is an area that interests me a lot. So we go on to job sites. I've had students here when we were building this building, the Girl Scout building, so we usually take them to local buildings that we've designed and are in the process of construction. And that's fun for them because it kind of sees that we have an office that we do work in, but then how it relates out into the field. Our staff usually goes to lunch with them. It's another thing we like to do because we feel when we go to lunch with the students, we take them to lunch, then we get an opportunity to sit down and visit with them a little bit on a one-to-one and not in the office and kind of talk about their school and where they're heading. It's just a great program. We've enjoyed it. We've done it for a number of years. We have quite a few students come through. We like to see the students. We think it's a great thing for any industry to do because it gives you, you see where these youth are coming and what they're looking to do and how exciting it can be. We also have a handout we give them which has been developed by the American Institute of Architects and ourselves. So we do give them some information so they have something to take back that they can really review and see what kind of university they need to go to and what the whole process is to become a licensed architect. I invite them back. They can drop in our office anytime. We're downtown Port Huron, so we always say, hey, stop up if you're around. We've had a few do that. We've hired a few for summer work, which has worked out very well. We have a student right now working for us that's going to SC4 that job shadowed 2 or 3 years ago, And so that's worked out very nice, you know, and he's excited about architecture. So we really enjoy it. We really like seeing the students, and we think it's a great program, and we encourage anybody to do it and any industry to get involved with it. Thank you.
Good morning. It's my privilege to be here this morning to talk with you again. I've been at this meeting now several years, and I think it's one of the things that I am most pleased with about our school district, that we have business involvement in the schools. I think that the community has the kind of schools they really want and will work for over a period of time. And my observation has been that when the business community is involved and parents are involved, the way they are in the Port Huron Area School District, you ultimately have very high quality schools. Even as Board of Educations change, as administration changes, and as teachers come and go, that is what keeps the quality there. We're really proud to have you be a part of our school district and really be setting the tone for us to have the quality schools that I think drives the community. I'd like to take just a minute to recognize a few people that have helped make this possible and have helped make this program possible and continue to grow. First of all, I would like to thank Julie Langoff for her leadership. I'd like to thank Bob Beaton. Bob likes to work behind the scenes, and there's no one that works harder than Bob Beaton and puts out the quality product, and I'm very proud of him, and I think you can see this morning the results of his work. Also, the person that helps Bob, Sherry's here somewhere, Bob's secretary. Sherry, where are you? Why don't you stand up? She's responsible for a lot of this. Also, our counselors, our school to work coordinators, our teachers, without their support and help, this program wouldn't work well. It wouldn't even go on. And they do a great job, and they're very supportive of it. Also, without the help of the leaders of those high schools, that wouldn't be possible. And I know that Al Frost and Ron Moline and Joanne Monahan are here. I think Barb Hancock's had a role in it, and obviously Tom Miller, who is here somewhere. Tom has been a great supporter of this program as well. And I think that the leadership and the people doing the work make the tremendous difference over a period of time. I'd also like to reiterate what was said earlier. The Chamber of Commerce in this community, under Mike Benedict's leadership, has helped the school district in so many ways. This is only one of the programs that the Chamber has been a part of. And when I look at some of our highest quality programs, the Chamber has been actively involved in it. And this morning, the President, Gary Solinger's here of the Chamber, as well as Mike Benedict. Gary, why don't you stand up? Where are you at? Gary doesn't get a lot of recognition as President of the Chamber, but frankly, without the leadership that Gary provides and the leadership that Mike provides, many of the things that happen for our kids would not take place. Each year, this program has grown. We started out small. I think we handled it with quality because we wanted it to grow year after year, and it's done that. This year, we have several new companies again, and I think most of the companies that started with us are still here. So I'm not going to read every name, but I would each year like to recognize the new companies that have joined the School to Work effort: Body Construction, Colonial Woods Counseling Center, Economic Opportunity Committee of St. Clair County, First of Michigan, Dr. Michael Hermesire, DVM, Life of Faith Fellowship Church, Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Port Huron State Game Area, Petrie Incorporated, City of Port Huron Planning and Community Development, Professional Counseling Center, St. Clair County Government, 31st District Court Family Division Juvenile Probation Officers, Tucker's Art Studio, and Watson Brothers Company. I think you can see just from that list of new companies the diversity, and really that's a credit to our CRC staff and Bob and the counselors, that they're constantly looking for different kinds of people that can help the kids. And if you get out into life, there are certainly, all of us find our niche in a different way. And I think this program, through the diversity of it, is helping prepare the kids for that. Again, I would, on behalf of the staff of the school district and the students, I would like to thank you for your support, cooperation, and help in this wonderful program. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you for the kind words in regards to the program. I would like to remind all of us once again that this program is for all students. Sometimes we have programs for the academically talented, we have programs for the disabled in one way or another, but this program is totally a K-12 program where all students, regardless of their position in life or academically or whatever, has an opportunity with the philosophy and belief that it's our mission to deliver education to all students and make them be all that they can be through providing opportunities that might catch them afire, as some of these students have explained. Sometimes we are the spark that causes a kid to Velcro, if you will, onto something that takes their life in a totally different line or direction than they had thought of before. So we truly thank you for that serious moment here. There are some people who just always come to the top and need to be recognized, and Julie Langhoff is one of those people who has been a fine leader. We really appreciate her liaison capabilities between us and the business community and the Chamber of Commerce. And at this time, I would like to present Julie with a plaque. Julie, would you come forward, please? In appreciation of Julie Langhoff, Manager, Personnel, Women's Life Insurance Society, for her contributions as the chairperson of the Portland Area School District School to Work Transition Program Advisory Committee from September 1999 to September 2000. Her support and encouragement have helped students, parents, business and industry, school staff, and the community become more aware of career opportunities. Presented this 19th day of September 2000, 5th Annual School to Work Transition Breakfast. Julie, thank you very much. And there are always those people who are willing to be pioneers, and some of us just have that knack or interest or way of doing it, and Mike Benedict has been one of those people, and Mike will be retiring soon, and he'll be sorely missed. He and I have had many conversations. I've used him as a confidant and even as a mentor, and we go back farther than we would really like to admit, but probably back to around 1968 or thereabouts, Mike, would that be fair to say? The polyester years, and well, let's not go there. Mike, would you come forward, please?
As I recall, Bob, I had hair back then and sideburns.
Gary, would you come up, please? Gary Sellinger and Bill Kimball, would you please come up? Both are past presidents of the Chamber of Commerce, and I just thought it would be appropriate that they would be here to recognize Mike. In appreciation of Mike Benedict, Executive Director, Greater Port Huron Chamber of Commerce, for his contributions as a liaison between business and industry and the Port Huron Area School District's School to Work Transition Program. His support and encouragement have helped students, parents, business and industry representatives, school staff, and the community become more aware of career opportunities. Presented this 19th day of September 2000, 5th Annual School to Work Transition Recognition Breakfast. Michael, thank you very much for all your help.
Thank you. Bill Kimball never misses an opportunity. He suggested that now I can become a full-time volunteer.
Sherry, would you write that down? Make sure that gets in the minutes. Mike, we will certainly be calling on you. And I would like to reiterate what Mr. Kimball said. Sherry's been with me a little more than a year now, and she just does an outstanding job. We're kind of on the same page on a lot of things, and I'll say, well, we need to do this, and she smiles and says, well, we've already got it done. You told me about that last year. So, Sherry, once again, thank you very, very much. This slide up here, I'd like to take just a moment and tell you about this. We're extremely proud of this. And Al Gable, where's Al? Al, stand up, please. Every once in a while, you know, somebody steps out from the pack and is willing to follow some crazy guy like me, and I was talking to Al one time, and I said, Al, you know, we got to keep this thing alive, because traditionally programs start plateauing at 3 years and 4 years and at 5 years, and they start winding down. So we continue to look for marketing ways of getting the name of our program out and people involved. And of course, part of that is the carnations that we deliver, and we need to say thank you to the marketing teachers for that, of which Larry Delecta is here and representing them, so we do appreciate that. But this is from the silver screen. And if you were to go to Craft 8 and you were to be there with Kim Basinger or Tom Cruise or Rex Harrison or whoever it might be, in all of those previews you would see this flash up there. And we're very pleased with that, because Al and I have worked on it for over 2 years. We tried several different things. As a matter of fact, some of the people said to us, well, you can't do it. And then others said, and we think almost they didn't want to do it, so they tried to make it real difficult, and that just became a challenge. And my wife will tell you that when a challenge comes, I become kind of like a lion, and I start stalking things. And so here it is, and again, thanks to a team effort, but this is what you would see, and we're very proud of that. We think it's a universal first. We know of nobody else in the whole world that has ever advertised their job shadowing program on the silver screen. So we're very, very pleased with that. Not to be outdone, for the teaching staff, if you stick around, I'll be glad to initial your professional staff development cards. Also, at this point in time, then, I would like to thank all of you for coming, and I'd like to have you think of career education and this program as the mortar that holds all of the educational blocks together. And I know some of you say, well, you know, it's one more thing to do. Well, I'm sorry, it's not, and I need to preach for just a moment. All the math, all the science, all the language arts, English, social studies really doesn't take you anywhere unless there's some agent, some kind of substance that binds it all together. And Mike Allen, I think you said it well. You know, we need to be taking students the additional step to show them why we're doing something is important, because there's just too much competition for all the things that are floating around in this world for them to be attracted to. And when we can show them the reason and the why of it all, I think it makes it much, much easier for them. And so think of career education and those occupational programs that are for all students as the mortar that holds those big 4 core curriculum areas together. And so at this point in time, we'd like to close, but I'd like to say thanks to everyone. And the way we're going to do that today is a little different, so I need your cooperation. First of all, I'd like to have all of the staff from the Port Huron Area School District come up. Stand right behind me, right here, please. Entire staff. Many of these people you will never meet, you'll never hear their name, but believe me, they're part of our team. They fit, some of them behind the scenes, and just make the little tweaking things happen. Next, I'd like to invite up the business people. Would the business people come up, please? Can you kind of squeeze in here? We may have to have several rows. And the students, would you come up, please? And would the students come right in the front? And would the parents of the students come right here in the front? Shelley, would you come up? Because you're a big part of this. This is our team. Thanks to everyone here. Thank you.